Welcome back. This is part 2 of the first home story series. In part 1, Olufunmilola and her husband believed they had found the home God had prepared for them. They prayed. They submitted their strongest offer. They even began assigning bedrooms to each of their children. Then came the disappointing news. Their offer had been rejected. That night, Olufunmilola prayed, "Lord, I really believed you were giving us this house. What happened? Did I misunderstand your leading? Did I miss something?" She did not realize it then. But God was already working. Later that same day, her husband made an unexpected suggestion. He said, "Why don't you check those lots we saw before?" Earlier in their home search, they had noticed a few lots where new homes could be built. At the time, they did not pay much attention to them. They had already concluded that a brand new construction home was probably beyond their budget. Besides, they had never owned a home before. Neither of them had any experience building one. So they simply continued searching for older homes. But after losing the bidding war, they decided to check those lots. To their surprise, some of the lots were still available. They immediately contacted their realtor. Soon afterward, they met with the builder. As they talked through the process, something unexpected became clear. Building a home was actually possible. During the bidding war, buyers competed fiercely for existing homes. But there was no bidding war for purchasing a lot and building a new home. Still, the process of designing and building a house felt overwhelming. They were first-time homebuyers. They had no experience with home ownership. They had no experience making construction or design decisions. Then something else happened. To their surprise, the photos and virtual tour of the house they had lost remained on Zillow for several months after it had been sold. Again and again. Whenever they had to make a design choice, they returned to those pictures. They studied the layout. They looked at the rooms. They considered the features they had liked. Those images became an unexpected guide throughout the building process. The very house they thought they had lost helped them design the home they would eventually own. And the new home was not only brand new. It was also larger than the house they had lost. And better suited to their family's needs. Then everything began to make sense. Olufunmilola remembered the prayer she had prayed when they first decided to begin searching for a home. She had remembered visiting newly constructed homes with relatives while she was in college. That memory had led her to pray, "Lord, if it is your will, I would love for us to own a brand new construction home someday. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done." When the prices of the new construction homes they first saw seemed impossible, she concluded that perhaps God had a different plan. She stopped expecting a brand new home. Instead, she focused on older homes. But looking back, she realized something remarkable. God had never forgotten that first prayer. While she thought he was saying no, he was quietly preparing an answer she could not yet see. The house they lost was never the destination. It was preparation. God used it to help them build a home that was brand new, larger than the one they had lost, and better suited to their family's needs. It was the new construction home she had prayed for from the very beginning. God was not simply preparing a house for them. He was also preparing them for the house he had planned. Looking back, Olufunmilola realized that God had been answering her prayer all along. Isaiah chapter 65, verse 24 says, "And it shall come to pass, that before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear." Sometimes we think God has forgotten our prayers, when He may be preparing an answer in a way we do not yet recognize. Sometimes the closed door that disappoints us becomes part of the direction we need. That does not mean every disappointment will make sense immediately. Sometimes we may wait weeks, months, or even years before we understand what God was doing. And sometimes we may not fully understand in this life. But God's faithfulness does not depend on how quickly we receive an explanation. It rests in His unchanging character. If you are facing a closed door today, do not lose heart. Keep praying. Keep trusting. Keep taking the next wise and faithful step. You may not be able to see the full picture yet, but God can still be at work in ways you do not expect. I would love to hear from you. Have you ever looked back and realized that God had been answering a prayer in a way you never expected? Or are you still waiting for Him to reveal what He is doing? Please share your experience in the comments below. Your testimony may be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Thank you for joining me for the first home story series. Thank you for watching. God bless you.